What did you know was a mistake as soon as you decided to do it, and why did you go through with it anyway? I once took a job I knew wasn't right for me. I thought I could make it work, but the stress just wasn't worth it. Sometimes we ignore our gut feelings. I did this one time too. Manager there offered me the job, went to shake my hand. I shook his hand, but I distinctly remember thinking in that moment, what the fuck am I doing? This is a huge mistake. I worked there 5 days. Spontaneous purchase, like an expensive gadget or piece of clothing, only to realize afterward that it was unnecessary. At first, I thought there are the things would make me happy. I'm a Gen X man who can honestly say buying any stuff is a bad thing if you truly do not need it. My wife was worse than me at it, so now we are trying to downsize, and it's like some puzzle where we try to put some worthless thing we bought 20 years ago over there so I can get it the other worthless thing I bought 10 years ago and give it to a neighbor. Oh, but what's this big bag of shit on top of it? Oh, lots of clothes we don't wear. I'll take it to Goodwill, which prevents me from getting rid of the other shit. Ask yourself if you really need it. If you're not sure, just don't buy it. I flunked out of my first school. I imagine if I'd stayed and gotten my degree, my life would have been a lot different. Instead, I ended up working for a few years, realizing the value of a degree and restarting my life. It's made me realize that kids shouldn't be forced into college right after high school. Some of them need to work or travel or whatever to figure out for themselves what their path is going to be. 18 is way too young to point a finger at someone and be like, okay, now you need to decide the rest of your life. So glad my parents told me point blank if I wasn't sure what I wanted that I could go get a community college degree and work at the same time. They paid for the community college degree while I grew up. I literally existed in early teenager mode and needed some serious socialization and life experience before I could venture further. I would have flunked out of any serious degree program. I was so immature. Some kids need more time to ripen. Anyway, here I am with my bachelor's and nowhere near the top of my earnings potential after 20 years into my job. No regrets. I picked up a mouse when I was 12 and it bit me. I felt it was a mistake in that moment, shook it off and picked it up again, because I might as well roll with it since I already had been bitten. I got bitten again and my mom made me let it go. Pretty cool that I didn't get rabies or anything. Mine was a small groundhog. I had to have been about 6 or 7. We lived up in the mountains and I happened to see the little bugger pop up out of its hole. I vividly recall it trotting along with its chubby little ass jiggling, and I ran up and touched it. It whipped around and bit my finger, and the memory stuck with me because the little fucker didn't immediately let go. That was the most traumatic part, lol. But yeah, I'll join you in the yay, no rabies, club lol. I once agreed to help a friend move, knowing full well it was going to take all day and wreck my back. I went through with it because I felt too guilty to say no. Spent the next day barely able to walk, regretting every box I lifted. Folks, let this be a PSA. Don't ask your friends to help you move after the age of 27. After 27, you and your friends have gotten old enough that you can rent your own truck and hire a load and load crew. I regret every move I had friends help with from the age of 23, 27, and I will never do it again. I am starting a late night binge watching session when I know I have an early morning the next day. As soon as I hit play on the next episode, I realize it was a bad choice, but the excitement of the show and the desire to see what happens next can be too tempting to resist.